So today I wanted to dive into 5 different ways you can change your language in order to improve your life. So I was on a podcast literally 2 days ago, and the guy says, okay, Ben, I'm going to give you a problem. So he starts sharing about one of his challenges he's facing, and as he's sharing it, he just keeps saying you. He says, you know what it's like, Ben, when you're attempting to do a lot of things at once and you're attempting to please your clients, and on the weekend something goes wrong and then you have to work and you have to do this, right? You know? And he said you continuously about 10 times in like 3 sentences. And this is the first pattern of language I want to introduce you to. And this is that when we share our problems, if you constantly say you're detaching yourself from the problem. As soon as you say I, you take ownership. But this is an incredibly common thing that happens in our language because we tend to detach ourselves from what I'm saying, especially when we're speaking about something that isn't comfortable, it's a problem, and we generalize it. You know what it's like, you've been there, as opposed to saying, so at the moment, I'm facing this challenge, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I was in this place. And that is a completely different perspective and a shift, which is going to help you tremendously to take more ownership of what's going on in your life. And you'll be able to pick it up on other people as well to help them improve. So the next thing is about shoulds, right? I was chatting to a client the other day, he said, Ben, you know what, I really should do that. And I said, you know what, don't even bother. And the reason that I said that is that if he's doing a should, I know he won't do it. I said, don't even do a should. Don't even bother saying something like that because you know you're not going to do it. I should do this. I should do that. I'm not going to. We only do what we must do, what we have to do, what we need to do. And you need to be very careful of that language because if you say, oh, I may try that, may try, I should probably get that done. If you can just be more aware of the language you use when you take on a project, when you take on a new task, suddenly you're going to be programming yourself to actually follow through as opposed to giving yourself an excuse not to do it. Very often when we use the word try, okay, I'll give that a try. A try is an excuse in the human language, basically, to just give it a go and accept failing. For example, try and touch your nose, right? You get to here, right? You couldn't do it because then you do it, but you could try, so you're here. So it's a fascinating use of our language to be very careful of how you use those words try, shoulds to move you forward. Next thing, I'll give you another fun example. So I was chatting to one of my mentees yesterday, and she was saying how, oh, Ben, everything is going wrong. It's always like this. I just don't know what to do. It's always the same. Everything is going wrong in my life, right? So this is where we use generalizations. And these generalizations can be both positive and negative. In this case, it was very much phrased in a negative in that everything in my life isn't going right? Is that true? Is everything going right? And by becoming aware of that, suddenly she was, okay, it's not everything, it's most things. I was like, okay, tell me, what things are they? She comes up with about 4. So I said, is that really most things or is it just a few things? Because suddenly it changes how we react to it. In this example, she was also using the metaphor of drowning, right? Metaphors are also a key component of language to be aware of. She was saying, Ben, I feel like I'm drowning. I said, oh my God, that sounds awful. Drowning? I'd hate to be drowned. Drowning, attempting to do things. That sounds horrible, right? So be aware. Instead of saying drowning, I said, okay, what if we got you a ship and instead you were paddling, right? Or you were rowing. Suddenly, the way in which we approach tasks is very different just by being acutely aware of the language that we use. Okay, next, I am, right? When someone says, I am a procrastinator, I am this, whatever you say after I am is what you become. So it's very important to pick up on this. So for example, let's say you are smoking, you say, yeah, I'm a smoker. Is that true? Right? Are you an actual smoker? Did you, pop out your mum's tummy, have a fag in your mouth going, hello, mum, good morning? Probably not, right? Instead, it was more of behavior that you developed through time. So you could say, at the moment, I have a behavior of smoking. That's much easier to change than saying I am a smoker because you can't be anything different from I am that comes after. So if you say I am a perfectionist, I am an angry person, I am this, suddenly it becomes much more challenging to overcome that. And you start to identify with it, and then you defend yourself much more. No, that's just the way I am. So be very aware of what comes after I am, especially in the morning. See if you can start to get into routines where you say things after I am that you really want to ingrain within you. I'm an energetic beast, right? I'm a unique, inspiring leader. Things like that can really help you move forward. Now, the last thing is about how you approach things like, oh, I don't know. How often someone says something to you and say, oh, I don't know. Instead of saying, I don't know, what about I'm not sure at present? I'm going to find that out, right? As opposed to saying, oh, why can't I do this? How can I do this? And just rephrasing and looking at those questions in a slightly different way can really help you improve your life because you're being acutely aware of the language you're using. So I really hope that you found this video helpful. I realize I've flown through a bunch of different language patterns, but even if you can just pick up on one, you'd be very surprised on how much that can help you. I recommend what you do is pick up the ones that perhaps resonate most with you right now. Okay, I actually do this because there's no point in watching a video and not doing anything. So see which language patterns you want to improve, and then just put it on your phone and look at it each day and see if you can become more consciously aware, because the more aware you are, then you can actually start taking action to change it. So I hope you can start to live that incredible lifestyle that you deserve, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.